Randy, go ahead.
Yeah, Sammy, did the break come at a good time for you? And how do you bottle that momentum you had from the first part of the season?
Yeah, I think, it was a good start for us. And I think it was good for us to get a little break. And I think, just to recharge our batteries. And we're all excited to start up again, and it should be fun.
When did you guys hit the ice again?
We were off for, I want to say, a couple weeks. And then I think, I want to say like last week or something, we started up again.
Thanks.
Next question, let's go to Jess Myers.
Sammy, you guys have generally been kind of in a bubble or isolated. Tell us about that experience. Were you able to go home at all or, see your family, any of that for the holidays? And if so, would that explain the lack of a beard now?
Yeah, I decided to clean it up a little bit. But yeah, no, when we were off for a couple weeks, we got to go and see some family. So that was really nice to see everyone.
Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, were you able to, kind of, you talk about being off the ice. Were you able to do any kind of pond hockey or anything like that? Just kind of fun, normal Minnesota winter stuff, getting outside?
Yeah, I was able to get on a pond once, so that was fun. I don't think I was able to last year, so it was fun to finally get back out there.
Thanks.
Our next question will go to Eric Vigo.
Sammy, over the break, did you look at how the first half went to find what makes your team successful and what you need to work on? Is there any kind of like self-scout that you go through to kind of evaluate your game at this point of the year?
Yeah, I'm always looking to, improve my game and see what I can work on and bring to the second half. Obviously our team as a whole has had a lot of success, and hopefully in the second half we can just keep doing what we were doing and keep winning hockey games.
I've heard one of your coaches say that you're not a fancy team. You're a forecheck, back check team. Is that something that kind of has to be echoed throughout the locker room at this time of year as you get ready to play games again?
Yeah. Obviously we're a pretty skilled team, but if we don't have that kind of, grit in our game, we're not going to win hockey games. So I think we just, we need to keep being reminded from each other that that's the kind of the team that we have to be if we want to win hockey games.
Our next question will go to Mike Grimm.
Hey, Sammy, how much do you guys pay attention to rankings? You're up at the top. Is that good? Is it bad? Would you rather fly under the radar, or do you not pay attention at all, or do you like the top spot?
It feels good being at one, but we try not to pay too much attention because, in the end, it doesn't really mean that much, and we're just, we're trying to keep playing the way that we've been playing and keep winning games.
We're going to go back to Jess Myers.
Sammy, have you scouted Arizona State at all? And if so, what kind of is your expectation from them?
Yeah, they're a good hockey team, and it's been fun that they've been playing in the Big Ten. So I'm excited, and it should be a good series.
And we don't have official word yet. We're going to talk to Brandon in a half hour here, but I assume you're going to have Brandon back. If so, what does that mean for your team to have his offense back in the lineup?
Yeah, he's an unbelievable player, and he's been so huge for us. So to have a guy like that back, it helps a lot.
Thank you.
I believe we have one from Wally Shaver.
Yeah, Sammy, I was just curious if you're surprised at all by the great start that the team has had so far, especially never trailing.
Starting from the end of last year, how we were kind of rolling. I think we kind of just picked up where we left off, and we have unbelievable players on this team, and I think we can even play better.
we
Thank
have
you.
any additional questions? I see one. Hold on. Eric Vigo, go ahead.
With Brandon coming back, can you kind of explain to us what he's like during a game, what he's like on the bench, and his attitude as an older guy to play with?
Yeah, I love playing with him, and I mean, me and Brandon have a good connection that goes back even before college. So, I mean, we're always laughing with each other and having a good time. And I mean, he's a great player. Like I said, he's a passer and takes the game well. So I always love playing with him.
Has the bench been different? Have you noticed anything like players talking on the bench during the game as you go through the ups and downs?
Yeah, I think I mean, being 8-0, it's more upbeat and guys are having a good time. But I think from past years, it's it's a different feel in the locker room and everything. So.
Did we lose me? Oh, we still have Sammy. Okay, can we go to Jess Myers, please?
Sammy, I'm just wondering if you've been watching, no NHL on. Have you been watching World Juniors at all? And any text back and forth with the three Gophers that are there?
Yeah, obviously, we tune in when the U.S. is playing to watch, our guys, and it's fun to see them out there, and it'll be fun to see how far they make it. But no, I mean, we've always been tuning in and checking out other games and seeing all the great players that are playing there.
Coach, you finally have a schedule for the second half. How did you plan your break working up to getting back to games this weekend?
Well, we kind of guessed that, that we'd only played 8 games the first half, that we'd have to play this first weekend. And are we the only series or one more? There's one more, right? There's 2 series in Big Ten. That's my point. So we let our guys go home for about 10, 11 days if they could get out of here. And we came back on the 20th. Then we had to do testing for 3 days. And we've been going since the 23rd with a couple days off in between. And, it was, kind of guess this year. And we need games, though. We need to get back at playing games right now.
Did you do any kind of self-scout over break on things that make your team successful? And can you share any of those things that you think you identified as things you're doing really well right now?
No, we didn't. We didn't do a deep dive. If we did anything, it's, for us, the big things we've been talking about is the things we need to improve on. We were very good defensively, obviously, with our numbers. And we think that was because of our all 3 positions. Jack was outstanding in goal. Our defensive core, was definitely, we thought, had to come the furthest, being so young back there, but they just shot out of a cannon. And then our depth with our forwards, and just give you a 30,000 foot snapshot of, of a quick recap, is we just had real consistent depth in through our lineup, and then how we played the game. We were, I don't think there was anything we were magical at. I just think we were, we were just really efficient and really strong in a lot of areas. And we got some chemistry going, and that showed with, with our chemistry on block shots and face-offs and special teams, that there was a good ingredient for 8 games. Those 8 games are over. And we had a long break here, and that's why we need to, coach's biggest fear is we got to get back on top of games right now. And I wish we could snap a finger and be hitting that level again. That's my Christmas wish. I wish we can, but there's no question there's going to be a little rust in being off, and I think Arizona had 2 more series after we were done. So we'll chunk it off, though. It's just a short term. We'll get the rust off and then get back to our games. I just hope there's not a lot of damage while we're waiting.
Next up, let's go to Drew Cove.
Hey Bob, you mentioned some of that rust, but just how has the intensity been at practice these last week plus? Just kind of getting ramped up. Are the guys kind of chomping at the bit like they were before the season started too, or?
Great question, in that I can give you a little under the hood there. Yesterday was the first day we really kind of felt, because we gave the guys, what is today? I am so screwed up still because of today's Thursday, so we gave them Tuesday off because Wednesday is would be our normal Monday, getting ready for a Sunday game. Our whole brains work on Friday, Saturday play. And yesterday, you could kind of feel it was game week. It was the first day we had a little bite back in our game. And I don't hold that against our guys. I mean, you bring them back on the 20th and they know we're not playing until January 3, 4. And it was good to see. We needed to see a little bite back in our game, and we had it yesterday.
Our next question will come from Jess Myers.
Bob, we're going to talk to Brandon McManus in a little bit. I'm assuming that means he's back in the lineup. Just kind of give us his status and what would it mean having him back?
Well, he is back, absolutely. And, he was our leading scorer when he went out. And if there's one area after 8 games that I think we can take another step forward is our offense. And having him back in our lineup, I think is a great step. And we didn't make a lot of, changes when he went down. We just kind of plopped another guy into his spot. And it was working from a wins and loss standpoint, but we can be better offensively, and I think this makes us better.
And then just a quick follow-up. A couple other schools with this unique situation with an extra year of eligibility, a couple other schools have added players at the break. Any changes to your roster or any plan changes to your roster?
Yeah. We're in the process of we're in the process right now. I can't tell you now.
Okay.
It'll be a day or two. Maybe even later today. We have 13 forwards right now. Weber's done pretty much for the year. We started with 14, and if there was a way, and it'll be a good story when I can bring it out. I'm not hiding anything. I just got to make sure when I can talk about it.
Understood. Thank you.
Next up, let's go to Randy Johnson.
Yeah, Bob, this is a little bit further down the road in the season. What's your thoughts on NCAA tournament selection, how that's going to work this year? Josh Fenton of the NCHC had an opinion that it should go by historical numbers with conferences, which wouldn't bode typically very well for the Big Ten. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, one, I think the committee is the pairwise has been great, but if you even go back to any of the years, any of us that have been in it, you can kind of pick the teams without the pairwise. You're always going to debate those last few. I don't think you can do historical data. I think it might play a little something, but these people doing it and the people out there, you can pretty much, if you're having, Minnesota hasn't been in the tournament in 3 years, and we're off to a good start. So but historically before that, Minnesota was really strong. How far historically was he talking? I have no idea what he's talking about.
It was more like back from the 2013-14 split when the new conferences cropped up.
Yeah, I would need to know more. Like I'm not even thinking that, Randy. You did start it off by you're really going down the road. So I don't know what Josh really was thinking on that. I have said all along, the committee's going to get it right. Every year, there's always one or two, but the pairwise played it out, so there was no debate. You were bummed out if you were that, 16th team and didn't get in. They're going to get it right. They're not going to mess this up. I mean, you put enough hockey people in college hockey, and like I said, you go back any of those years, and if you would have put a panel together, they would have probably picked 14 of the 16 right that they had every year the pairwise said it. it's always a debate on those last few teams. So they'll get it right. I really do think they're not going to screw it up. But somebody won't be happy. All we can concentrate in is what we do. And we got to make sure that we continue to play strong hockey and we put ourselves in the best spot to get back in the tournament. And that's really where our concentration is. And I have faith that the committee will get it right. But we got to do our part to make sure there's no debate. And we got a lot of work left to do.
We will go to Eric Vigo next.
Coach, with the World Juniors going on, how closely are you watching your players? And do you know what the process is when they come back to integrate them with your team in terms of COVID protocols and things like that?
Yeah, they're officially working on it, but they're in a tight bubble up there, testing every day. So I don't foresee any issues with those guys coming back on any of the teams, especially Big Ten, because they are in a lockdown bubble. It is food delivered to your room. They're not. They've got it down up there. Yeah, I'm watching. Did you guys see the game last night? Wow, what a hockey game that was with Russia and Sweden. And we're watching as many games as we can. Of course, we're following our guys, and USA's hitting their stride, playing great hockey right now. They're doing a terrific job. And the tournament officially started yesterday. And it is, you can see the intensity is just taking a whole nother level. And you'll see it today in today's games as well.
When you watch those games, what are you watching? Are you watching as a coach, or are you watching as a fan? Are you taking things away that the different countries are doing with their rosters and strategies?
A little of all of it, but a little of all of it. But you're mostly a cheerleader. You're for USA. I guess maybe a coach's eyes really turned to special teams, and I really liked what one of the teams was doing last night, and in like penalty kill. And I don't run the penalty kill. That's Rabs and Gordo. So I'll beat those guys up today. And look what Russia did, and they'll remind me that, hey, coach, we're doing fine, and they'll tell me to stay in my corner. And it's 90% cheerleader and cheering for our players in USA. And just the great hockey. If you're into hockey, this is one tournament you want to be watching.
We'll go to Jess Myers next.
Bob, talking to Jack LaFontaine, he complimented the team's defense, but he said the defense has almost been too good in the fact that, he hasn't seen a lot of shots in the first period sometimes, and your team hasn't trailed at all. Obviously, you can't replicate what it's like to come from behind, but have you thought about what it will be like, or how your team's going to react when you face adversity for the first time, when you're down by a goal or two?
To be honest, no, because I don't know how many games I've coached in my life and been in, but whatever's going to come, we've been there before, and these guys have been behind. I mean, it's an 8-game snapshot. We played awful well. So are we going to have adversity? You're darn right we will. And it'll make us better when you're feeling it. And, we're going to get knocked down in a game, but I don't, just, we don't like to talk about it. It's going to come, it's going to hit you, and we'll be prepared. And we don't coach when we watch our game film. We don't coach whether we're 8-0 or 0-8. You're looking at your team, how you want your team to play, how you get better, and you just keep pushing the rock forward. And it's going to happen. We'll be ready for it.
And then, did you get any kind of normal Christmas with everything going on? What was getting together with your family like? And did you get everything you wanted under the tree?
2020, it was. Obviously with, my mom is locked down in Austin, in her 80s, that was all FaceTime. My wife's parents, just we're talking short visit with social distance and a lot of caution and care in that. So yeah, there was a lot of difference. Like all of you went through it too. I mean, none of us have had a normal, Thanksgiving or Christmas. I mean, I'm not, and did I get, An old boss of mine a long time ago said at his age, he said, you know what, I want to word it right. He was having a bad day. He said, I don't want any more bad surprises, but to ask for that, I don't need any more good surprises either. I just want to be. And maybe that, I just, you just don't want any bad surprises. We're getting through this. Hopefully we've rounded third base on this pandemic. Our guys have handled everything. They've been terrific in how they've handled this. But kids will do that. They're going to be resilient. So, I've got everything I need. I didn't need anything this holiday except let's everybody stay healthy and let's keep moving forward.
Thanks, Bob.
With that, we're going to cut you loose, Coach. Thank you for your time, and we will see you soon.
Okay, good stuff, guys. We'll see. We'll Zoom with you later.
Brandon, welcome back. What's your status and how does it feel to be potentially back on the line chart?
I feel good, feel 100%, ready to go, and feels pretty good.
What's the last month been like for you? Watching from afar and then kind of working your way back.
Yeah, I kind of thought about it. I waited 8 months to play 4 games, then I had to wait another 2 months to play another, how many or so that we got left. But so I might be a little bit behind, but it'll take a couple shifts to get right back into it. But it's all excitement from here on out.
Some injuries kind of let you keep skating and keep your conditioning up. Is this one of those where you're able to kind of keep going, or are you feeling like, you're going to have to keep up with your line mates a little bit extra?
The break for sure helped. With facilities were still kind of open and stuff, so made it a little easier for me to come in and get skates done. But other than that, just the whole game aspect, everything's a lot different, obviously, in the game situation. So I'm a little behind in that aspect, but I'm not really too worried about it. I feel like I'm a kind of player that kind of gets into it right away. And but the staying in shape aspect, I thought I did a pretty good job with it so far.
Brandon, what do you feel that your team needs to do to keep this thing rolling as it has? Is there any certain key for this part of the season?
Yeah, I think we all know where we stand right now, and how well we've been playing. I think it's important for us to not let that get to us, and build off what we started here. And obviously, we have something really special going on, and it's something we want to keep building off of, and putting our nose to the pedal here and keep grinding away.
What do you expect out of Arizona State?
They have some good offensive abilities there. Obviously, a pretty tough team to play against, and I played against some guys on their team this year 2 years ago, and they got it in them that you could tell they're really well coached, and it'll be definitely a really good test for us.
Brandon, what was the holiday break like for you? Did you get to go home at all? And if not, where did you kind of spend the time off?
Yeah, I got to go home for a couple of days. Obviously, Christmas was a little bit earlier this year, like a week or so. But I don't think my mom really cares. I think she just wants to see me. So that was good. But I actually got to spend Christmas with the Brinkman family, just us and their mom and dad. So very fortunate to let them have me come in and do that. But everything looks a little different this year. Everything is, discombobulated, but that's just how it goes, and you got to take whatever comes at you.
Have you been able to get on any outdoor ice during the break and play a little pond hockey?
I actually got to go on once. I've been playing juniors and going to Shattuck and stuff. Obviously, it's I've been around it and stuff, but I don't get to go on it as often as these Minnesota guys do. So I feel like a little kid again every time I get to do that.
Brandon, what do you think you guys do on the bench that's different this year than years past. I've heard your coach talk about how there's been a lot of leaders who keep the right mindset during games. I know during that Michigan game, the game kind of got away and there were vocal people on the bench that kept things going. What's the mindset that's different?
I think there's a lot more people that are more vocal this year than they were in the past. You know, when there's no fans, I mean, you can tell that they're not there, but at the same time, it's the game is happening so fast, and you know, your mind has to be there for it, and you know, you don't really notice it that much, but you do notice the fact that you need your bench to be going at all times, and you know, I think, like I said, more guys are becoming more vocal, which is huge for situations like we're in right now, especially being able to create your own energy, and you know, guys like Reedy are stepping up too, and you know, really using their voice, and it's cool to see, and it's infectious. So.
Brandon, there's no NHL games on right now, so have you been watching World Juniors, and if so, what have you thought? Have you stayed in touch with the three Gophers that are there, any of that?
Oh yeah, we were watching our three guys every game, and you know, we obviously want USA to win, but we want those guys to do really well, and it's pretty cool to have not one but three guys from your program go to the represent the red, white, and blue, and you know, it's always a fun time of the year to watch some of the best hockey ever, and it's the best of the best. They just go at it, and you know, it's really cool to see. And you know, like I said, three guys on our team being in the same tournament, the same team, it's pretty cool. It's something special there too.
And you mentioned Scott Reedy. You know, he surprised a lot of people with his goal scoring last year, and you know, we kind of wondered if he could replicate it. Here he is again, putting pucks in the net. What do you see from him? What does he do that's so effective once he gets you know, below the dots?
Yeah, you know, first of all, he's an unbelievable shot. You know, he can tell he's been working at it for time in and time out, and you know, and obviously his body strength helps, and how big he is and how big he plays the game. You know, you can't really knock him off the puck, so that just strong effort he has, it's just you know, it's really hard to handle, and once he got going, it just keeps coming for him, and you know, when you put him in that area, you know, something good's going to happen out of it. And, you know, it's finally coming to him right now, and it's awesome to see. And, you know, when you're hot, you're hot. So you gotta keep giving it to him, especially in front of the net there.
Seems like Sampo has kind of taken some notes from Reedy's game and applied it to himself. Do you notice that as a teammate?
100%. You know, especially after the last 4 games, not being out or not being in and kind of watching, you kind of learn a little bit more about the game too. And so it's kind of pretty cool for me to happen there too. But I noticed Sampo getting a lot of these goals where he might not have happened last year. And, you know, for a player like him too, he's a very skilled player, very, you know, shiny, but he also has a big body and can get to those areas, and kind of has a new tool for him to score goals. And especially at this level in college, it's very important for him to have that game, and he's finding it, and you know, he's getting rewarded, and he will continue to get rewarded.
Are Sampo and LaFontaine kind of on islands with the World Junior Tournament, cheering for Finland and Canada?
I think Sampo is. I think Laffer is more of an American than Canadian at this point. I think we've turned him, but he's a Canadian at heart. But he's one of those players that just likes to watch the game, and whoever's really good, he's just gonna watch them.
Did you happen to see LaFontaine's availability after the Michigan series, where he got pretty emotional about that win and the way he played and that experience? And how, as a teammate, do you support him as he goes through that?
You know, Laffer's obviously a room from last year has turned into, you know, one of my really good friends I'll have forever. And, you know, I kind of know a little bit about that situation, but, you know, when you go through emotional stuff that he's been through, and ups and downs, highs and lows, like to, you know, potentially end your, you know, last game at Yost Arena with a shutout. I mean, it probably takes a lot out of you. And, you a lot going through his head at that time. So it was really, really cool to see for him, but for us to be a part of and making sure that he gets what he had there done. And we were all there for him, and he made a speech to us too in the locker room, and we kind of just got fired up and had his back, and it was a really cool night for us.
Brandon, what's the best thing you got under the Christmas tree?
I'm just at that age where clothes are just kind of the ones that fire me up now. got some new shirts, couple snow boots, and that was about it. But I'm not maybe 7 or 8 years ago when I wanted something digitally like a video game or something that would fire me up. But now I'm just a couple shirts will do me well.
Anything else for Brandon?
Did you maybe get a book, Brandon, or a leaflet on how to work your way back into the lineup?
Yeah, I did. Mods actually sent me that one.
Is there any kind of gift giving among the team? We all have seen Miracle where the players give each other gifts and they give the coach the whip. And
yeah, no, we had our Secret Santa. I think we had it a little bit later this year, just because we had the little break that we had earlier than usual. But we did have a Secret Santa, so that's always fun.
Does coach get anything from the team?
Not this year. We gave more towards our media, or Jeff Winslow, our trainer, Greg May and Lee, just kind of for all the hard work they've been doing, and especially Jeff with dealing with all the COVID protocols, and it's a lot of work for them to go through right now. So got them a little something to be appreciative for.